Welcome, everyone. Welcome to the pre-game show or the post-game show brought to you by Academy Sports and Outdoors. Let's everyone get ready. Let's complain. Excited to have everyone here. Texas gets the win, 27-10 versus UTEP, but it was not very reassuring in that win. And we did the pregame show. Anybody that was there, we were kind of warning about the offense, and I didn't expect that warning to come true so quickly, but pretty rough. But before we keep going, guys, join Inside Texas for only $1 single, and you can get a full year of access to The Athletic. Go hang out on the game thread. You can commiserate with all your fellow Longhorns. But let's talk about it, boys. We knew we had some offensive issues. I highlighted them in the pregame. Basically, bottom 90 or worse, and third down, fourth down, red zone, everything situational is pretty rough. But today was also unique. Arch struggling, man. Just couldn't do anything. Really couldn't do anything, man. Like just missing easy throws. With the ones he does complete, he's still throwing it way too hard. Anytime it's in the red zone, it's like he doesn't even attempt to do anything. He just wants to roll out and try to run. Basically, it was a wildcat quarterback performance. So pretty rough. But first things first, y'all's thoughts on Arch Manning.
Man, we're still a work in progress. I don't know what it is with mechanics. Like even on throws, he has no pressure, still sidearm for no reason, right? Either like you said, overthrowing or underthrowing guys. It's like, man, like it doesn't have to be the perfect pass though. It's like pitch and catch, A to B. Like you're playing in the backyard, the same game you've been playing all your life. It's like he's just forcing it, and I don't understand why. I think I think it's mental, right? But I don't know what it takes to fix that. I don't think you fix that over a course or over the season. I think that's something we have to fix maybe in the off season, right? Because he's just sped up, and there's nothing nobody can do about it. He has to look in the mirror and fix it himself. But I don't know. I don't know what you do with that. Do you run him more to start the game with to get his juices flowing? I think he plays a lot better when he can use his legs. Maybe he gets in the flow of the game, but I'm not sure how Sark's is going to fix that one.
Yeah, and if you guys didn't know, Coach W or GA, right? Mm-hmm. GA at UNLV, right? So he's actually seen what it's like, how college teams prepare, what it looks like in season, and he's astutely pointed out the season's not really where the bulk of your improvement happens. No. You're in the battle. It's actually a game of attrition at that point. Like you're losing guys and dealing with injury. Like the improvement comes in the off season mostly. And then Coach makes a great point too. They're not running a ton of indie drills, meaning in like independent parts of practice. You're installing game plan. Like you're not trying to teach someone how to block. Exactly. Right now, like you're trying to, here's the run scheme we need to game plan for. So there's not a lot of personal development, even in practice in a season as well. So just for all the people of like the need reps guys, yeah, we need some reps, but we needed them. We needed them in the off season. So that's the tricky part going forward. Cord, what do you think of Arch? I know you were just kind of like, I don't know, man.
There's a ton you can say there, and I definitely, agree with you, Coach Doe. I thought that was really well said overall. You got to get the guy kind of eased into the game. We obviously we tried to dial up something easy in Columbus and that big matchup, and it was there. We saw Arch be sped up, and that carried over for that whole first half, and then again late in that game. I thought we had a good trend line going into last week. We still had a couple of silly decisions. But overall, to me, seemed like he was slowing down enough in comparison to week one to where we could start trusting that, okay, as he gets these game reps, I was one of the game rep guys. Today, to me, is a big step backwards. I told you guys before we went live, I thought that stretch in the second quarter was as bad as quarterbacking as we've seen in some time in Austin. You think about like Quinn's really bad game with Wyoming. That team, Quinn, he rallied to have some really big games. Did so even a couple of weeks later in the Oklahoma game outside of the turnovers. But today is not a positive sign, man. The very simple concepts, things that, as you guys are saying, should have been ironed out in camp, things that for a quarterback at the University of Texas for the wide receivers at the University of Texas should be things that are done in their sleep. I'm talking about the simple 5-yard, 8-yard curls, the quick outs, the mesh concepts. These things, that's pitch and catch, man. Like I played high school quarterback, not very well. but I mean, like I could close my eyes and whip an out route out there. You know what I mean? Like I'm just saying those things, not seeing them in week 3, that the timing is so completely off. I think that's a very big issue. Arch late in that second quarter had an easy 7 to 8 yard completion on a curl to Ryan Wingo. And it was on a quick out. You could tell that was right there. That was when I was like, you know what? These guys are just lost, man. The timing is so off. They're so far from being on the right page, being in sync. And it's like, yeah, I mean, like at some point you are what you are. You know what I mean?
Right.
Getting in the reps, you know, I mean, like we're going to keep saying get reps in 7, 8, 9 weeks down the line. You know, like I don't think today is exactly who Texas was and who Arch Manning was. But I mean, it's certainly concerning, man. Like you can't dress it up any way you want.
It's closer to than it is to the upside, which is unfortunate. You know, it's like
Agreed.
This is really bad, but I think this is going to be closer than the flip version of like them looking lights out. So
I agree.
Yeah, that's the man, and even the stuff he was completing, he's like throwing it way too hard.
Way too hard.
It's like he has no touch on it. It's strange, man, and like. He is late on everything too, man. Like there's one part in the red zone somewhere. James Simon, like throw it to him. There's a Livingston one really early, but late. James Simon is in the flat. If you just get it to him and turn up, he can get yards. And Arch takes like 3 seconds to get it to him. And I'm like, man, it's incredibly late. His processing is frankly really bad right now. And then anything over the middle in the red zone, it's like he's not even trying. He's just like rolling out and trying to throw it, like force a throw to someone on the edge or like maybe run, but it's like he has no clue what he's seeing right now. And then when he did try to force it, he throws the pick in the red zone. So it's just like, I don't know, man. It looks really bad. And you know, people pointed out, take the Arch Manning name off of it. Yeah, 1,000%. It's just bad quarterback play.
Yeah.
I will say I'm not like super impressed with his ability to layer or, you know, to throw the touch passes. Like I just thought as many reps as this guy's gotten in is, you know, as long as he's been around the campus, that wasn't something that I really worried about. I did a lot of film breakdown on John Mateer, and that was something I thought he would struggle with. And that's a guy that he's making it look a lot easier than Arch Manning is. So over the middle, it doesn't look like he's very interested. It looks like he is waiting till he allows himself the proper time to where, you know, he's like, well, I'm just not flushing immediately. It's almost like a quick count in his head. And he's like, all right, now I can get out of there. I've stood in here long enough. Lots of flush in the pocket, man, when you really don't have to.
Yep. Yeah. It's just kind of bad all around. Like, yeah, he can run, but it's like, I don't care about that. Like we're playing a Wildcat quarterback today. And then you're just going to lose a lot of games. Like, unless the defense is, you know, shutting people out, like this offense is going to struggle to score like 21 points against anyone with a pulse. So
well, you did ask one question, and I would like love to hear y'all's answers. But like, what does your opening script look like? You know, for knowing that you have an Arch Manning who I agree with you, Coach. He's a lot better when he's got his legs incorporated into our offense, and you know, some of these design runs we're getting into. You know, do you just come out, you come up with super easy concepts in the passing game? Because I mean, I shouldn't say super easy because nothing is super easy for us in the passing game right now. But I've been thinking about that for the last 3 hours after our opening script. But y'all have any opinions there?
Yeah, look, me honestly, with like that, it's pitch and catch. I'm gonna throw a quick slant. I'm gonna get you open. That's an easy throw. Should be. It's gonna be some RPO. I'm gonna have you running. Maybe a QB draw. I just want to get your juices flowing, let you get into the game. It seems like that's what Arch really wants anyway. He wants to make that contact, and so I feel like he becomes a better player when he can do so. But when you're asking him to make reads right out the gate, the first play, like I know you probably practiced that all week. That's been in the install. Man, you got to give him a chance. It's like a shooter who's shooting like nothing's falling, but make a layup, get to the free throw line, get your game going. And I feel like Sark does not set him up that way. It's almost like Sark is bought into he's Arch Manning. I'm gonna roll him out there and he can just do it because he's Arch Manning. It's like, no, he's a player. He's human like everybody else. Get him into the game. Get him into the flow of the game with the RPOs they're running. We used to do it with Vince Young all the time. Use your legs early. I thought they got Vince into the game. Same thing with Cobra when he was younger. So the quick screens, something. We did that with Quinn for 3 years straight. They got Quinn going, right? So you got to do the same thing with Arch. You got to find something that he's really good at. They're really the whole team is good at, not just Arch. And then getting the rhythm of the game from there. But I feel like he just tries to come out and this play you've been practicing all week, we're going to run it no matter what. It's going to work. It's going to be open. And then when it's not, it starts to tank.
Yeah. And I thought early we were fine because like we were in third down, we weren't converting, but Sark was giving you 3rd and 1s, 3rd and 2s, 3rd and 3s. Like your offense should just be able to convert that. Like I wasn't mad with the play calling early or really at all. I thought early on we were in a lot of manageable stuff. They just weren't able to execute it at all. And so I don't even know what you do as Sark at this point. There's some play call. But it's like if your guys, if Arch plays like that, nobody. You can give me the best coordinator in the world. There's no shot. And so you're having to result on a run game has its own things. I thought James Simon had a good game though.
Yeah, I like James.
So want to see more of him. But you saw the interior offensive line just getting absolutely cooked to open the game. Like there were 3 or 4 guys in the backfield on every play. That was not good. But I don't. The answers are. This is what it feels like when you have a bad offense. Watch any other. This is what a bad offense feels like. You're gonna be questioning every little part of it. As soon as you solve one thing, the leak is gonna spring from somewhere else. So you can get mad at the coaches. I would on coaching. It's what happened to Arch Manning from last season? That looks like a different player. But as far as play calling, it's that's really hard to judge for me at that point because they're not executing the most simple of things too. So. I don't know. It's going to be rough on offense, guys. It's going to have to be a really defensive thing. And this Elijah asked, I'm not pointing fingers. How did every insider get this wrong? Is the program just full of sunshine pumpers? Coaches, sources, whatever, whoever it is, they're positive too. And they're playing themselves. They don't know until they go out into battle as well, So, that's the tricky part. I had my questions. Before the season, I was I don't know about the offense yet because there were so many new pieces. I did not expect this though, so I don't know.
I will say I didn't expect the run or the run blocking to be as sketchy as it has been through 3 games. Okay. I liked what I thought. I liked the physicality of this group. I do like the physicality. You can be physical doesn't mean you're a good run blocking unit, but right. At times we haven't even been physical, and so you've seen a lot of inconsistency that's there. All those things are going to go hand in hand. I don't think Sark's been perfect with scheme. I don't think he's been perfect in play calling. Obviously, Arch isn't hitting the easy stuff, the bread and butter stuff. And then you have an offensive line that is up and down all across the board outside of probably left tackle. And it makes sense. It starts to make a lot of sense. And for the people who I was one of them that thought this was a team that would probably score in the 40s 6-7 times this year, 50s a couple times, and be in the 30s every single game you play at least. I'm worried we might not see 30 for multiple weeks in a row come conference play, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look, we all had that thought preseason going into camp. Then you have injuries happen on the offensive line. You got to shuffle people around, right? Somebody in the DFW area who've been doing Connor Stroh since he was in 10th grade. When I knew he had to play, I knew what his deficiencies were.
Whenever Stroh was announced as the starter, I was on Inside Texas going, this is not good, guys.
Right.
This is not a positive. So
you know what he is. That's not changing. I don't care how much
you can't make him more athletic.
You have that is not changing, right? Yeah. And so you can kind of tell, okay, what this may shape up to be, right? A bunch of guys up there who had no starts or probably played only a few games. You had to expect there was going to be some bumps in the road. You would think the learning curve would be a lot quicker, but unfortunately, they're just going to have to take their bumps and bruises, man. And hopefully, it looks different week 6, 7 versus like it does now. I hope so anyway.
I do too.
That bye week after Sam is going to be really, really well needed because you can actually get in some more detailed practice reps and go through a couple days or, at least maybe a couple hours on, that bye week. Some of the little things you might feel like we're going back to junior high, fellas, but hey, let's go back here and work on a couple of these little things because just not very, it's not complimentary football on the offensive side. And, I will say that, no, I don't think Arch should be benched, just to answer my version of that question.
There was a point at this game that it wasn't playable. And so you get one, but at some point, man, you're going to lose us a ton of games. So that performance can't happen again.
Right.
And so if I need to see Caldwell, that's older and at least not wigged out and can complete balls, then I need to see Caldwell. But not yet, but that can't happen again.
I agree.
That can't happen again. You're a 3rd-year starter, man. We're not starting a true freshman here. So look, Texas needs to win what it can win. that's just the reality with the Arch stuff. It's tough. Fans booed you, but it is what it is. But yeah, we can't have that again. I mean, what's the argument? Just let them keep doing that. That's a no. So
change.
What do you do?
Yeah, at that point, you're stealing from a really dang good defense, man.
That's my problem too.
Yeah, I mean, you have a defense that has a chance to be as good as we've had in Burnt Orange ever, and I mean, like, you can't waste that. You got to figure out a way. You have to find some identity first off. You know what I mean? I think I know we tried to open up a little bit of the playbook as far as concepts in the ground game. Maybe we just need to be more simple and run 2 or 3, but they got to find something as far as an identity. I think that goes a long way. But I would say that Arch's legs from gun formation is more of what I would lean to. It'd be a lot of hero and backyard ball mixed in with some run game.
Yeah.
But honestly, I just think that's probably going to be our clearest path to victory down the line.
Yeah, definitely. Look, defense good or not, at some point they're going to have a break point and crack too. Like, if you're watching film, they have holes too, right? Nobody's been able to take advantage of it. Ohio State really didn't try because they played in the box. They wouldn't let stay and just let it go. But the last 2 offenses, there were opportunities for those offenses to score points and could have put us in a bind the way we're playing offense. You do that later in the conference play, you can be in trouble. Because I don't think, this is me personally, I don't think the defense is suffocating and dominant as it was last year from a communication standpoint.
I agree.
And so I feel like there will be a crack there when you face a team who can actually score. You don't want to fall into that later on. So that's just how I feel.
Yeah, when you face a quarterback, right? Like, that's really where, like, look, if Lagway is not looking great either, but Lagway could exploit it. Mateer will definitely exploit that. Like, the defense really good.
Oh my God.
Yeah, the defense is
really
good.
Big day.
It's not the numbers of like the past 2 years. So yeah, the defense, and what we mean by defense gets exposed, like they give up 14 and we lose, so it's like it's that thing too, man. That's like it's gonna be tough, man. It's this thing is not really solvable offensively to go from. It's not a playoff team to me right now.
Right.
Just because that means you're a top 12 team. It doesn't look like a top 12 team to me. So defense will keep you in it, but they got to figure it out on offense. But this is what a bad offense feels like. You're like, why can't they figure it out? What if this player can come in and be the savior, and then they come in and they don't, So you'll kind of be wrestling with this all year if the offense continues at this rate. But before we keep going, guys, you know who won't let you down? Academy.
Any gate can be a tailgate.
Thank you, Academy. I just got much more happy seeing that. We can pull up some stat stuff here real quick from the old.
Or maybe the numbers are scary, man.
But I'm not even pulling up my numbers. My numbers will freak you out. But these I'm just pulling up the game broadcast. So what did we end up with? 5 for 16 on third downs, 2 for 5 on fourth, 7 penalties for 81. Thought it was kind of ticky-tack on Gilbo at the end, but on that PI. But I'll have to watch it again to really know. So it's just it's kind of what I thought. I heard the announcers like, you got to give UTEP credit. It's like, no, I don't. No, I really don't. And don't get me wrong, like they've done well. They've held teams to low scoring, but UT Martin and Utah State's in year 1 of a new coach. So sure, they did good with some TFL stuff. That's for damn sure on our interior offensive line early, but really this was about Texas not being able to execute it all. So it's pretty tough.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Looking at these numbers, I don't know, surprising. I know we won turnover battle by 1. I thought they dropped like 2 interceptions, I want to say, right? But yeah, it was close to being a pick. It's like, oh man, like we cannot. The way we're playing offense, we cannot afford to turn the ball over like that. So I don't know, man. It's not good to see. I don't like the third down conversion rate. It has to be better. We can't. I want to look at your numbers later, Connor. When you as far as how long it took to get. How long was the third down? Was it like 3rd and long, or was it 3rd and short? And why are we going for it so much on 4th down? Why are we in that position every single game? It seems like
that's what's frustrating is like that. We're in 4th down because we can't convert 3rd downs.
It's so frustrating.
And so it's like it makes Texas look aggressive, but it's really just we're bad on offense. Like we don't want to be aggressive. We don't want to do that. But you're having to. So it's that part. Josh, guys, I really don't know what you're talking about. They are who they are at this point. A team isn't going to magically morph a month into the season. I agree with you, man. I was saying my whole example last week was if someone told me I'm bad at tennis, am I going to be good at tennis in 3 months? And I would tell you no. But somehow in football world, like that coachism and coach speak is like commonly accepted. It's just not true, man. Like
not true.
Coach was a GA. Like he knows what a team looked like. Guys, our numbers, I said this privately. And people push, even our staff got mad at me, but I said, I was like, our numbers are on par with Oklahoma last season. That's what the numbers, the advanced stats are behind the season was OU last year. And they were like, what? No. And I'm just like, all right. I like numbers are the numbers, man. Like, so it's, and I didn't expect that to happen versus UTEP. Like I thought we'd probably have third down struggles, but I didn't think we'd melt down like that versus UTEP. I was basically warning for season play that like when the losses start piling up, like, I just want to be on record as being right, but yeah, man, I don't think this team is not going to go from one of the worst in the country to playoff caliber offensive football.
Exactly.
You know, you might go from 100th to 65th. Like that would be a good improvement, but you're not going to go from this to good football. It's going to be pretty tough.
It's really hard to find any silver lining in these box scores. But if you remove all context and you just like you say, hey, Ryan Wingo was our leading wide receiver and he got in the end zone, and you don't add the fact that he had 32 yards, not so bad. You're like, hey, we ran for 213 yards and we didn't fumble. We didn't lose a fumble. So, well, we still put it on the ground and our yards per clip was just 4. So, and we haven't talked about Cedric Baxter's injury. I mean, obviously, I don't know if that changes up what you have on that first drive because I know he does have a plan for the different backs. I'm hoping he has a plan for the different backs and what he's trying to do with them. But to me, it just I mean, I would have liked to see last time and touch on that first drive. But I don't think Arch dropped back to throw a pass until that 4th down. Is that correct or no? On the first drive, I think we're run.
I can look. I have my
and then we get in the 4th and short. I just saying that's not my way of I don't want to make it easier on him for his first completion, his first passing attempt, like you were saying earlier, Coach. Just give him something easy. I didn't love that was the first time, if I'm correct, that we're turning to Arch, and then I mean, it didn't seem like he just mentally slowed down from there. It seems like he was sped up. Got it.
Yeah, it definitely sped up. I just feel like
it was the first drive.
Maybe the swing pass might have been before that. The one to Clark.
Yeah. Clark's swing pass for 23 is on the first.
Okay. Well, incorrect then. Yeah. I just I don't know. You got to find something, man, because it is what it is. So you gotta start, I feel like we're working real hard. We're going to be going deep into
we are
on ways to pick up 5, 6, 7, 8 yards.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's just a far cry from what I expected this offense to look like.
Yeah. Some of the question was, do you think it's scheme or Arch? Like, look, I have my problems with Sark's scheme, and I had him last year, even when we're winning and no one wants to hear it. But there's nothing you can do when Arch plays like that. There's nothing you can do. So it's like maybe if Arch played well, there would be a couple things I could point out about Sark's scheme. And I do have some issues with it, but there's not much you can do when the offense is that bad. And then it's like, well, let's do screens. It's like, we're not really good screen blockers. Like they're going to just get tackled behind the line.
True.
It's like, so to me, it's just like throw bombs, but Arch couldn't complete deep at all. And this is why it's so strange, man. Like you watch the UTSA all 22, you watch Mississippi State, like the whole joke was Arch throws bombs, like all offseason. Like he was completing on that. He looked comfortable in the pocket. He was fairly on time. He was getting down in progressions and looking to take the shot and then you get it. He would do some interesting playmaking stuff, like the pitch out to Bolden on UTSA. So it's like a different quarterback. And so it's like, I know people are mad. Like you guys said Arch was going to be good. It's like, yeah, not based off of what I heard, based off of what I saw. This is a different thing. And that's why I'm so confused. And maybe that lens on the coaching side, right? Like, what did you do with Arch Manning? But as far as like, it looks like a different quarterback. It's very strange. Like he didn't have this panic and like adverse reaction to reading the field and like being like 3 seconds late on everything. And like, that's where it's weird to me. Because he didn't have this last year. And they're like, well, it's the difference of being a starter. It's like, no, it's not. Like he ran the UTSA offense fine. Like running an offense is an offense, and UTEP's not a good team. San Jose State's not a good team.
Right.
Like it has nothing to do with being the starter all the time. I saw what he did versus Mississippi State and UTSA. That,
you know what though? Hey, for me, it's maybe 70-30 Arch versus scheme. Because Sark, if you stop his money plays, he already kind of shrinks. If I'm being honest, you combine that with Arch missing, he kind of goes into a shell too. Like, what can I call? When that play call sheet, it starts out big, you got all this on the menu, but then you only see certain parts of it because I don't know what to call to get this guy in rhythm. I'm losing confidence in him and myself. What am I doing here, right? And so where do you go as a coach, right? You got to go down to the basic of things. Like, man, what do we do the best? Let's just run that and get out of here. It's UTEP, right? Let's just do what we do best. If it's run the ball, let's just run the ball. Maybe it's bootlegs, something. Let's just do that and get out of here. I thought they did that in the second half with the RPO. They let him run this and let him start to keep and run it or hand it off. So they gave him an option. I thought the offense moved the ball well then. They should just stay with that until he gains confidence or whatever the case.
Yeah, regarding scheme versus Arch, but why isn't Sark calling easy one read concept? I mean, he does.
He has many
like
times.
He's throwing curls on the outsides. Like he's throwing a post. That's as one read as you get. Like it's the deep ball. Like he is calling easy stuff for Arch. And that's what's weird. Now he doesn't do what I like, which is just every other college offense that's just like spam the slot, man. Like if your leverage is wrong as a DB, like I'm throwing it. Like Sark doesn't do that, and that annoys me. That's one of my critiques is like, hey man, take the easy stuff. But he is calling easy stuff for Arch. Like he's not trying to push the issue too much, especially this game. And just Arch couldn't do anything, man. And so that's where it's like nerve-wracking.
Yeah, going back to that stretch of 10 or 11, whatever it was, straight incompletions. Go look at the easy concepts that Sark gave Arch through that run, and then you'll start to realize, like, yeah, Connor is right. What the hell do you do if you're Steve Sarkisian when he's not able to hit those layup type throws? I mean, because then, like, if he can't hit that type of throw, then what do you have the confidence in him to hit? If anything, there's nothing there. So it's tough on Sark. I don't think, again, I'm with you, Coach Dove. I don't think it's been perfect. I think it's more on Arch than the scheme and Sark. But again, it goes hand in hand, and it makes the scheme really, really difficult to pull off when you have a quarterback that seems to have very, very little confidence.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah. And it'd be different if I had never seen Arch play. But that's what's disturbing me is I did see 2 games of full games. And it didn't look like that. So I don't know what's going on. Arch has the yips, plain and simple, or he's hurt. He's not hurt. I wish, man, if he was hurt, that would help. Like I wish I would scream from the rooftops. Like he looks bad because he's hurt. He's not hurt. And so that's him being hurt is the easy way out of this. But he's not. And so that's where it's tricky. So
yeah, I mean, it doesn't look hurt to me. Again, last week on the run, throwing the ball 55 to 60 yards in the air, it doesn't look hurt, man. And it's just it's all, to me, like Coach said in the beginning, he seems very, very sped up, and it is breaking his mechanics down in ways that he probably has never even seen before.
Right.
Because I guarantee you, he's probably just as shell-shocked as we all are.
And it probably doesn't look like that at practice during the week at all. But when the game lights are on, it's the total different thing. It's, what do you call it? Performance anxiety. It may be it. Coming in as a backup is different too. Coming in, the game's already started. You just want to get out there. I'm gonna get out there and make a few plays. But starting it, I don't know. It's a bit different. Everything's on you.
But it seems like that, right? Like I push against like he's the starter because it's once you're in the game, it's the same thing as when you were the backup starting that game. But there's clearly something going on in the periphery there that's affecting him. And, the easy thing would be like, well, he played at Newman, right? Like there wasn't a lot of good competition, but also Peyton and Eli and Odell Beckham Jr., they all played at Newman, and they performed fine. And also he played last year. So it's like if we just hadn't seen him perform well and then not. That's the strange part of this, because you could reach in a bag full of excuses if you had never seen them start a game. Right. But the bag of excuses isn't there. And so that's why it's like, well, what's going on, man? Because look, it's no secret, I'm not a huge Quinn fan. But I haven't seen like exceptional quarterback play yet. Like Mac Jones, but it's like, at some point I'm like, what's going on? Because the quarterbacks aren't looking better over time. They're looking worse to me over time. And so what's going on? We have 7 quarterback coaches. Like we have Milwee, we have Sark, we have I forget his name, but he works with the quarterback. I mean, we have like 3 guys that work with the quarterback. Maybe that's the problem. But there's something in the quarterback coaching that something needs to change there, because these players are looking worse over time to me. And if you need Mac Jones, who's 36 years old, to make your offense look good, then that's not a good offense.
Right.
So you need to figure something out. So,
well, it's a skill position group that Alabama had, man. I mean, to be fair, I think any 3 of us could have gone out there and chunked around for at least $3K, 3,500.
The defenses hadn't adjusted, right? Like the RPO, they were like mind blown. They were like, we're never going to be able to stop this. Like our RPO is solved. Crossers are solved defensively. Like everything that Sark killed everybody with at Alabama, they figured it out.
Everybody's caught up. Exactly.
Everybody's caught up. And so it's like, look, you either got to innovate again, or you got to go like Iowa State, like spam the same guy 90 times in a row, make everyone think he's actually a good receiver when he's not. Right. And so you got to do something like that, man, because this system doesn't work anymore. The defenses are back ahead. Man, watch these clinics. These defensive coordinators are evil now. Like, with the level of disguise, like they're not scared of anything anymore.
Nope. Like you said, they've all figured out all the tags on RPOs and everything. My brother's been a high school defensive coordinator for 9 years, and whole different world talking to him 5 years ago and then talking to him now, and the confidence that he has when he's getting ready to say like, hey, we're facing this, you know what I mean? They've got a plan for everything.
Yeah. And Alabama had a bunch of cheat codes and incredible players. Like we don't have cheat codes anymore.
And who do you fear? It makes you call anything as a DC. Who do I fear outside of? If you beat me one-on-one, I'll just live with it. But nobody puts fear in me outside. One-on-one. I feel like I can play man. Who's gonna beat me? So that lets you, as a defense coordinator, you can call a lot of things or play a lot of things just right to the scheme. You can play the scheme versus the man. You don't have to worry about a player like we did in the previous years. You had to worry about where the A.D. Mitchell, Matthew Golden, even Isaiah Bond when he was, he had Gunnar Ham, JT Sanders. You had dudes you had to worry about. Now it's not there.
I mean, just think about how often Sarkisian sees the flyover defense from DCs. And like you're saying right now, like does this Texas offense, if you were to keep everything in front of you, do you have any confidence whatsoever that for 4 quarters they can beat you with long sustained drives? And it's just like, absolutely. I mean, they got to be salivating a little bit, man.
Yeah, and what did I say on the pregame? I said people were like, well, we hit explosives. I'm like, those get taken away from you. And when they get taken away from you, what happens? Yeah. And this happens. And we saw it versus UTEP, which is insane. I was trying to hint at when we get into SEC play. But when they take explosives from you, because it's like peanut butter and jelly. Like explosives are great when they're in combination with sustained drives. Now you're super powered, right? Mm-hmm. But just explosives, who cares? Like there's plenty of teams that hit explosives that aren't good because they're not trackable. They're not consistent game over game. And teams can choose to take it away from you if they want to. Yeah. And so as a DC, I'm not scared of this offense at all. So I'm like, look, if I get beat one-on-one with Ryan Wingo, Arch is not going to hit it enough to even make the difference. They're going to be out of sync. They're going to be at the wrong depths for each other. Arch will throw it out of bounds. Wingo can drop it. Like
backs don't scare me. They'll shoot themselves in the foot with penalties.
Nobody scares me.
Yeah, the backs don't scare me. The O-line's going to commit a penalty at a crucial time when they can't do anything in the red zone. Like, okay, guess what? Stop Arch from running in the red zone, and now they don't score. Like, there's nothing about this offense as a defensive coordinator that scares me. Like, if I read some weights and heights, I'm probably impressed. But from the tape, I don't care, man. Like the problem is you got to beat the Texas defense. That's what everyone's thinking about. Yeah. But this offense puts no fear in any coordinator at all.
No. No. Can we get that last comment from Antoine? Can you get that one up there?
Yeah, let me get this from Burt Reynolds. If his name wasn't Arch Manning, he'd probably be benched. I'm not going to argue against that, man. Like, nope. If the second string played like that, they're getting pulled. So I'm not mad at that sentiment. Antoine says, why does the average person fall for preseason hype so much in CFB? People would create an entire narrative based on preseason polls predictions, which mean absolutely nothing. What do you think?
I just want to say, Antoine, it's a very fair question, brother, and a good comment. But, and I'm not here just to to defend Inside Texas or any other media affiliate, whoever roots for the Horns. I talk to a few players on not a daily basis, but a few times a week. And there was shock after the Ohio State game and the performance from Arch. All right. Like, that is not who he has been in practice. It is not who he was in camp. And so, when you have the type of defense that you have returning in Texas, and it might be correct, Coach Dub and Connor may be correct, and maybe it is not as smothering and as dominant as last year's, but it's still going to be a top 15, top 20 unit at worst.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And so it's like, when you have that, and then you have players that play against that and players that play on that side that are like, yeah, this dude's going to be him. It gets real easy, man. Real easy to be involved in the hype. And since Sarkisian's been here, Texas has climbed and climbed and climbed.
Mm-hmm.
But again, even with wins, man, there's always stuff, as Connor was saying earlier, that you look through the weeds a little bit, and you can always find some issues. And Texas was far from a perfect team last year, but it's just really hard not to be positive about this particular team coming into the year based on everything that everybody was hearing and seeing in practice, man. I get it, though.
Yeah. No, we just like to lie to you guys. We just like to lift you up so you can fall. No, what it is look, we struggled to hit anything deep with Quinn. He checked down a lot, and so Arch wasn't doing that. Arch was hitting deep. So that's exciting, right? Then you get the legs of Arch, right? And you're like, okay, cool. Now we get some playmaking. We saw Mississippi State. We saw UTSA. That looked good, right? And that was a year ago, right? So imagine how he's grown in a year. And then this, right? And so everyone was caught off guard. The outlets were caught off guard. The coaches were caught off guard. The fellow players were caught off guard. Trust me, we weren't behind the scenes oh man, he's really bad. We're just gonna say that he's good.
Right.
Because we want to be right? The whole point of the business is to give you guys the correct information so you don't revolt like this. And so that's, I get it. And trust me, we work, but we're also fans of Texas. And so we feel it too of what the hell?
I know that Ray's trolling with the Sterling Gilbert comment and us flying a plane out there, but we would have an identity then. You know what I mean? And we would be there and shoot. We'd know what the heck we were all about.
But would they be able to run their system though? Because it's Sox show no matter who you.
I'm about to say no. He's kicking that old Brow system to the curb.
Yeah, I need to watch Florida because they're coming up. I'm about to really lock in on them. Florida being LSU, we got OU coming up. Guys, it's going to be tough. We're going to be in some absolute dogfights. And also, there's no games off for this. With this level of offense, there's no games off. Mississippi State, what they did to Arizona State, now our defense is cold. So that's a different thing. But Vandy can do it. UK likes to drag people into these weird, guys, and this is what I like. I started when we were bad. And I love doing the breakdowns when we weren't that good. It's really not fun to do breakdowns when I know we're going to win by 30. So now we're going to see who can actually do analysis in the space because that's nice. It's easy whenever you think you're going to win. But you're about to find out real quick who actually knows football amongst Texas football analysts.
There you go.
So that part I'll actually be more enjoying. I enjoy the job more when you actually have to think, but fans will not enjoy why I enjoy the job more. So it's a little bit tricky. Before we keep going, guys, I got another word for you. Huddle up, football fans. Tailgate season is here, and nobody gets Texas ready for game day like Academy Sports and Outdoors. Swing by your local Academy store or shop online at academy.com to find grills, canopies, jerseys, and much more. Be a watch party legend with gear from top brands like Nike, Adidas, and Under Armour at undefeatable prices every single day. Fun can't lose, and neither can you with tailgate gear from Academy. Academy Sports and Outdoors is the official sporting goods and outdoor retailer of the SEC. All right, so defense looks pretty good. I didn't like the last drive, but I have to rewatch to see who was all even in. I thought Jordan Johnson-Rubel had a nice little drive at the end. Good coverage, and then got the PBU. I don't like them scoring at the end. I absolutely hate that. It drives me nuts. I want the 3 on the board.
Yeah.
So But as far as the defense, man, their numbers are really good. Like I said, they're not last year's or the years before's numbers yet, but they're within punching distance to get to elite. People keep asking, like, is the offense going to become elite in 3 weeks? It's like, no, they're not even close. But the defense is within punching range of actual in-season improvement. So that's going to be a factor. But Coach, I think, is astute in pointing out there's some things we haven't been tested on and stress tested on that could show. Ian feels that way. If we face like a really good spread offense, he's still not sold on the coverage.
I'm not either.
So I think these guys are making good points. So just to take your one thing that you guys could lean on, which was the defense, I also want to take that from you.
No, I get it. Hey.
But that we just have to see with the defense. And like we said, if the offense is going to struggle to put up 21 points, the defense is going to have to be really stellar. That's going to be a big factor. Looking over some stuff here. Frankly, I want to see more Shipley kicking field goals because we're going to need them. And this is insane to say, but I want to see him kicking more field goals. Yeah. I want to see what he can make. So it's like if we get opportunities at 45, I need to see it because we're going to need field goals. We're going to need punting. And what's really tough with Texas is we're like top 40 in field position. So it's not like the defense is putting us in bad spots. Like they're giving us silver platters and the offense still sucks. So it's going to have to continue to be good field position and, frankly, a defensive football team. So
agreed.
That's the key. Let me see anything here from scoring. 2 rushing touchdowns. Teams will take that away in the red zone. You're going to have to pass.
Yep. He'll get spied every week.
Yeah.
So that doesn't translate as you go against good teams. Let's see what our nets are. What was our average per rush? 4 yards per carry versus UTEP. Something's got to be good here, guys. Something.
Hey.
Yeah, 5 for 7 in the red zone. I mean, it's better. At least we got some. At least we got some field goals.
It is absolutely better.
So that's better than normal, but it's really rough. We're 90th something in early downs EPA. If you're bad at third downs, you're bad at first downs.
True. Can't wait to see your updated numbers. I cannot wait to see your updated numbers.
Yeah, it's not going to be fun whenever I look over it. So, I mean, I have them here. Let's share this tab instead. These are the offensive numbers. This is prior to the game. We were 106th in passing down success rate, meaning when we got behind the sticks, we're really bad at converting. 99th in early downs EPA, 110th in third downs, 94th in average third down distance, 87th on fourth down, 112th on red zone, 98th if you only count touchdowns and get rid of field goals, which I prefer. I mean, it's pretty rough, boys. Like, I think we're 121st in offensive explosiveness. How could that be? Parker Livingston last game caught a bunch of touchdowns. Yeah, there were 71 other plays. Like, 4 on 4 and 71 other ones, you don't do anything. You're still not explosive.
I mean, literally watch any other college football team right now, and you'd be hard pressed to find one that doesn't look more explosive. Like they have a bigger potential to rattle off a big play. Mm-hmm. We just don't have it, man. Not right now.
Also, when you're not very good, like teams fall asleep. Like you'll get explosive just because they're like, this guy can't do anything.
Right.
129th in rushing explosivity. What are we in passing? Passing, I think we're 44th, but we're gonna have to update that game. Did we hit any explosives in the pass today?
There's no way.
We're gonna go down there. Our passing success rate. I care about success rate. That's the most important metric to me because it just means consistency. That's all it's a proxy for.
Agreed.
And really good teams are consistent teams. Right. So your numbers on Inside Texas? No, I have my own spreadsheets, but I share them on the Tuesday morning live with Paul whenever we update. I don't always do Texas. I'm more focused on the other opponents' numbers.
Right.
But I'm gonna have to do more Texas because it used to be Texas numbers were all good, so I could just kind of assume like I have it, but I wouldn't share it because But now I'm going to have to share it more because I'm going to have to be like, guys, we're really bad at this. And even though that they're not great at this, they're still better than we are at this, you know? So that's going to be a big factor. But this is what I was keyed into when I said we look like Oklahoma last year, was the situational, the moments, right? And we're losing, like us consistently losing at all the major moments. So,
I mean,
yeah.
our first snap there on the first drive that we scored a touchdown on. I mean, just inside the red zone. I don't remember what concept it was in the ground, but it was out of gun, and I was like, dang, we had several guys get beat right there. And you know what I mean? Like that, I didn't know that it would play out for multiple quarters. Well, then, like, you know, if you pick something up, then, you know, Arch misses a guy. And it's like, as far as the red zone, you know, yeah, we scored 5 out of 7 times, but I mean, like, it is crazy that, you know, we have to be happy about 2 field goals, 3 touchdowns, 2 empty trips.
Doing your job.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah, it's like you're supposed to do this, but we're having to give a pat on the back because we're going on 3 years of sucking in the red zone. It's not.
Yep.
That's the big thing too. And the red zone is a proxy for who executes better. Now you're in condensed space, so your play calls have to be correct. You have to be scheming things up. Your O-line has to be able to get push. Like the red zone is the best way to learn about a team. Like if I could just watch reps from one portion of the field and not watch anything else, I would watch teams in the red zone. Because that shows you who has the smarter coordinators, who has the better athletes, and then how they're leveraging advantages.
Well, like you said, who are you when teams take your explosives away? And naturally, you know, you have a 20-yard field. Like your explosives have gone away. The field has shrunk. You have a 30-yard box. Yep. And, yeah, I mean, we haven't shown very much there in years. And the fact that there's very, very little improvement from a 2023 version of Texas football to 2025 version just on, you know, success rate in the red zone. I mean, it is hard to stomach, man.
Yeah, I don't have the practice script of what they do in practice, but I bet they work on a lot of open field stuff because a lot of stuff is drawn up for boom or bust for big plays versus situationals. I wonder how many situational moments are in practice periods each week. Like how many plays do you have in the red zone? Is it 8? Is it 16 like you do in open field? Like maybe it needs to be reversed because we can get there, but you just can't execute once we get there. So I don't know how many reps they're getting, how many times does the first team get 4 plays and you switch out to the second team, get 4 plays, then you go to the next practice period, right? Like how much time are you really spending on situational football? And look, being a Patriots fan, that's all Bill Belichick used to do. Situational football, he didn't care about the situation. You had to play it in practice and learn it, like to get better at it. And so I'm curious to see how much we work on situational football because that really matters between wins and losses a lot of the times.
Yeah, 1,000%. Like this game is situational. Like that's the whole point. Like it's just every play is a situation. 1st and 10 is a situation. Like, you know, and so it's that thing too where, man, that's where it frustrates me. And it's hard. It was really hard to communicate it to fans like last year when you're winning, you know, and I'm having to say like, guys, we're not going to win the national championship because you're going to eventually run into the guy that has this figured out. You can't win a national championship like this,
right?
Like sucking in the red zone. You just can't. And so, but it's really hard for fans because they're like, you know, Homer's negative, and I'm definitely more critical than your average Joe. But that's always going to be a limiter. And you know, Sark gets mad about, he was getting testy with it in the preseason, like people talking about it. And it's like, dude, like get it figured out. Like it's been 3 years of this, man. Like, because frankly, right now it feels like you just got more guns and ammo in the term of NIL and recruiting, and you're out athleting, but you're not out coaching people.
Nope.
And that's what's frustrating to me. It's not really good coaching. It's just these players are generally better than the other players. But once you run into players being of equal talent, like who's our big win? Alabama.
Yeah,
we're not winning the big games, you know. And people get
the line you just dropped. It came from, you know, a person who drops a ton of bad takes is Mike Gundy, but he said it's like, you know, no, Sark is not out coaching anybody. He just has a more talented team than everybody. His players take over, but he's not out coaching anybody. And the fact you just said that, like maybe Mike Gundy got one right.
Yeah. Well, I mean, how many do I need 7 years of data? Like when will fans allow me to say what I think, you know? And it's like we're on year 5, guys. Like we need to be better. The coaching needs to be better. But also at the flip time, I'm talking on both sides of my mouth because I'm really not mad at the in-game coaching at this game, but I am mad at the coaching in the preseason. Like, why aren't these guys ready? Like, why are we getting 10 guys on the line of scrimmage? Why can't our offensive line stand up? And the reason why they're falling all the time is because you're teaching bad technique.
Yes.
This is on the coaching. Like, if they don't look good, your technique, you're wrong. Somehow you're wrong. So you're not giving guys the ability to be successful. That's the whole point of coaching, is you have to give guys opportunities to be successful. And if they're looking bad when we know that other teams wanted these recruits, we know that they're not bums, then what's going on here? And so I think there's probably going to be some hard conversations this year.
Some mirror checking, hopefully. You know what I mean? We looking at ourselves from within as far as that perspective, definitely. Because I mean, I had a little PTSD there in the third quarter when we're lining up again in the I formation, and I'm going all the way back to 2010, and I'm like, we get beat by by Bama in 2009, and we decide to be the Bama light and run our offense the same way that they were running it with Greg McElroy and what's his name. Ingram, and Trent Richardson, and we didn't have the cast for that. We didn't have the offensive line for that, and so to me, I'm kind of wondering, it's like, is that the best fix that we have here as far as getting the ground game improved in Austin? And hey, it looked okay at times against Ohio State. It looked better than I thought it would. Yeah. But I'm just saying, I haven't forgotten that. My mind went back to it a little bit.
Well, no, I'm also a little frustrated, right? Because all offseason, and I'm not the only one, I'm banging the table saying we need to bring in transfer offensive line. No, we're good. No, we're not. And then, hey, let's get a dynamic running back. Nope, love the running back room. It's just like, okay, guys, like if some dork YouTuber can see it, why are we not able to see it? And sometimes separation helps you. Like when you're in it, you can get a little lost. Sometimes being separated to be like, hey, I think these are problems. You should probably listen a little bit more to the outside, because some of these were predictable issues that are occurring, and that's where I get kind of frustrated. I get it, man. You have a bunch of wins. You're all millionaires. Like, you're at the top of the sport. You can do no wrong, but it's that attitude also leads you into situations like this. So that's where I've gotten a little frustrated with the coaching. Guys are very, very high paid. Guys are very, very they've been given a lot to be successful. And so we need to see that success, because everyone's being paid as a top 3 coordinator, and PK's earning his paycheck. But I don't know if everyone else is right now. And so that's where I get a little bit frustrating. What do you do next week, guys? Well, we're facing juggernauts at Sam Houston State. So hopefully we can put up 30. But the problem's us. And you're just going to have to, on the 3 things that you do well, you're just going to have to do those a bunch. Like, this is the frustration of a bad offense. There's not a lot you can do, but it's we're probably going to be having this conversation weekly. But Coach, what do you actually do in a panic button situation to try to salvage whatever you can?
Back to the basics. I know that may sound like coaches speak, but man, you really got to look yourself in the mirror. It's coaching staff and players. Like, okay, let's do some self-scouting. Let's see what we're actually good at. And that's all we're going to run this next game versus Sam Houston State. We're not going to put anything fancy in. We're not going to drop all these cute plays and over routes and all that. No, we're going to run our offense to the basic minimum possible. What we're good at. It means we run the ball 40 times a game. Oh, well, that's what we're going to do. I mean, you got to work on every fundamental part of the game that that's out there. Like, you have to. I think you got to go back to the basics, and I think that's the only thing you can do. Trying to put more on their plate, saying, "Oh, we're going to give you new plays," that's not going to work. They can't execute what you've already given them. So make it simple. Make it simple as possible. Make it like high school, right? I'm not saying go back to the risk card, right? You only got like 15 to 20 plays, but you got to do something to make it simple for the offense. We said we were going to go back to the gap scheme, which was simpler for running backs and everything else. Like, I see we do it and then we go away from it. Like, let's just stick with it. Let's see how good we are, running gap scheme. Maybe we get some success and we get some confidence. I think that's really what it is. You got to gain some confidence somewhere within the team and on the coaching staff. And I think you got to go back to the basics.
You got to play a little bit of G5 ball. Like, you got to really understand you're a defensive team.
That's it.
And start calling the offense like you're a defensive team. And I thought Sark did it today. He would, after Arch, that performance, he's like, all right, we're running mostly outside. We know we're not great on the interior. Run outside. Arch runs it. that kind of thing. But I think you really need to understand that you're a defensive team, and design offense for that. Keep the ball away, score on the explosive when it is there, right? Get guys down into the box, force them into one-on-ones, and then throw to Livingston and throw to injuries on a wheel, something like that. Get your scores that way, because that seems like what we're going to have to do, or else you're just going to end up stalling out. And then at that point, you can't give your defense that many drives. Like, they're going to let them score eventually. So you want to limit drives, and you want to protect the ball, and you want to protect your defense. Like, that to me seems like which is crazy to say, but that seems like the smartest strategy to me right now. What do you think, Cord?
I kind of, the thing about last year's Texas team is that we were an offense that was pretty dang inconsistent, but obviously could hang your hat on really competent defensive play every week, and we were going to be in every dang game we played. I maybe start building more of a ball control offense that, we really are putting an emphasis on the quick stuff. And obviously that hasn't been a strength of Arch Manning, but letting him really get into progressions hasn't been much of a strength either. I'm going to mix and match, design QB runs with the ground stuff we've been doing, but really just put an emphasis on, hey, because to me, you talked about comparing some of our numbers to Oklahoma's of last year. I think Oklahoma had a dang good defense last year. That their will was just broken by a putrid offense, right? Outside of a game or two, they played Texas a really good half of football on that side of the ball up until Trey got loose a couple of times. But that was because of what? Oklahoma turnovers there. Yeah. So we don't want to see that. And I'm not saying that will happen, but now that Homer Connors brought it up, I'm a little fearful of it. But so let's build a ball control offense, a team that can continue to win field position battles, move the football when we have to. And hey, like you just said, Shipley's going to have to be a bigger part of this offense, a bigger part of this season than anybody.
You said Shipley. You said, you're Shipley.
No, I am talking Shipley, and that's the bad part.
The field goal kicker. I thought you were trying to say Livingston.
No, he is going to be a bigger part of our season, our team and season than we want to admit. And that is very humbling to say. I never thought I'd be sitting here saying that after the UTEP game. But we're going to play in some really low-scoring tight games. I mean, it is what it is, And so, hey, I'm starting to plan now, how do we prepare to win those low-scoring tight battles? Probably coaching Arch Manning a little bit harder this week, really grabbing his attention right there. Because, I mean, again, he doesn't have to be a hero every single week to be with this defense, but he's got to be a damn lot better than he has been. Right. And there's several other people in that offense that have to too. So it's not just an Arch thing. But, I mean, we are going back to the basics, as Coach Stubbs said. But we are absolutely hammering through some of the basics. And I think that, I'm going to reserve my – my right to really judge this team and what I think this rest of the season will be until I see about a quarter or a half a play in Gainesville, because I do want to see how they react this week and react on the bye week. Again, like y'all said, you can't sit there and fix everything, but bye weeks can be very, very, very beneficial. And with hopefully the amount of it, or the attention to detail that Texas will be paying. I mean, you have to, right? Because this is really, really bad. I mean, we're a bit of a laughing stock, to be honest. You got to call it what it is. Yeah. And the way we performed on that side of the ball, I mean, it's drawn some laughs, and rightfully so.
Whew. Yeah. Well, somebody's my bad. Go ahead.
I was saying you need the zone read too. Like I'm tagging everything, like every run Arch can pull. Like I'm turning into that team where you're like, man, they're limited. Look what they have to do. I'm sadly gonna be the limited team, because that's what you're gonna have to do, right? And then when it's wide open, like if Arch doesn't hit it, there's not much you can do there. Like you still have to try to throw it when it's wide open. That's gonna be the big key, is that we're going to have to go kind of G5 ball. Like, how do teams play Texas? That's what we're going to have to kind of look forward to. And then Arch, there's no other answer besides you have to get better. I need to see Caldwell, because Caldwell can at least, I think, give me stability, and when you're a bad offense, you need to at least predict. So, and like I said last week, he was the one that came and threw that ball to Lockett. He was just like, you just do that. Yeah. And I don't need you to do a lot. Like, I need you with this type of defense. I need a bus driver. They can hit it when it's there. Make sure that we're getting, at least we're not going backwards, right? The Wingo behind the line stuff was pretty wild. Like UTEP was shutting that down. But yeah, you can't have another performance like this again. I'm not saying it right now, but you're going to lose a lot of games if we can't. And the worst thing that can happen is Arch comes and has an all right game, and then the next game again, right? Like, that's how you lose a bunch, because you're like, well, he improved, like San Jose State, he improved. And then so it has to be a pretty steady uphill trajectory. We can't really tolerate anything like that again, because it's not about the quarterback. It's about the team. It's about the team winning and not sacrificing another championship caliber defense. And like, we got to win, man. Like, it's year 5.
It is. You're right.
Part of me wants to almost be you're out there in 10 personnel and just 5 wide at times with injuries runner. I mean, and just run power out of that at times, run your quarterback draw out of that. I mean, absolutely spread everybody out. But again, you know that you can't just abuse his arch in the legs. But I mean, for the upside of this team to get there, I just really feel like playing in condensed space and the 12 personnel, as much as I want it to work, man. I mean, I think our tight ends are struggling to block a little bit more than I'd like to say, but I mean,
it's not a pro style team right now.
No, it's not. And you start rolling through the different things that you can do to improve, and it's not, again, you're not just going to completely just shed your scheme and what you've built for this team in your mind, but at the same time, man, it's like in my opinion, it's pretty limited, and I'll stick with the spreading it out. Little bit of hero ball, but a lot of his legs. Yeah.
He's better there. So we said in the pregame, he's 134th in the country as a play action passer.
Yeah. Why are you still doing it?
Why are we doing this?
That's,
and they're like, well, you got to get him ready for the NFL. It's like, well, if he keeps playing like this, he's not going to be ready for the NFL. So it's like, look, man, like, enough with the disdain for college offense and play what works. And Arch has looked better in pure drop back. He's looked really good in 2x2. Pick your side, pick your concept, do that. Like, spread it out. Now there's defenders out of the box. Now he can run. Like, let's do college offense, or you can go zone read. But complicating anything is the wrong choice. Yeah. Trying to play 12 personnel with nobody that can block as a tight end is silly. And so it's just like, look, man, you're going to have, if you want to win, you're going to have to do it by what reality dictates, not what we want to do. We would all want this team to be good at pro style and, man, look, like, NFL hire me, right? But we got to win, man. We got to win. That's all I got. Anything from you guys?
Nope. I agree with you. Everything you just said. I think coaches got to change too. They got to adapt to their players just as much as the players got to adapt to what's going on. I think that's huge. My offense is going to work, ain't going to cut it. You got to adapt to your players.
1,000%. You guys should go over to InsideText.com, join for $1. You can get a full year of access to The Athletic. You can go hang out in the game thread. And like I said, everyone's commiserating in there. I'm sure that'll be a lot of fun. But I still enjoy doing all this, even when the team's sketchy, man. Beats a hard day at the office, man. We're still, still football, still all good. Still fun for me. Chat, I think I'm coaching myself up right now. Chat, appreciate you guys. Y'all have an awesome Saturday night. Don't let it get you down, man. I think I'm going to do some Wingstop. I like Wingstop.
Hey, I like it.
You got to get the wins where you can get them. We're not on the team after all. All right. This was the post-game live. It was brought to you by Academy Sports and Outdoors. Tune in tomorrow. Cord and myself will – at least Cord and myself will be on the rewatch tomorrow when we get the all 22. We'll look over it, and we'll give you a more educated thing. People always ask me about offensive line play on the post-game. I'm like, I can't tell you anything. Like, I have to see the end zone copy. I can be mad overall, but I can't tell you what actually happened. So all 22 is going to be very illuminating, and maybe I can give you guys more analysis on, what exactly is going on. But appreciate you guys for hanging out. Chat, y'all are awesome. Have a wonderful evening. Peace.